Continue looking at our series that we're looking at about the last days. We've been dealing with it over the past several weeks and dealing with what does the Bible say about the last days. And again, I know the majority of us in here, I'm going to say I'm a voice this morning, I truly do believe that this question I have up here, is there a second coming? It sounds like I'm getting ready to ring a little bit, so I'm not going to turn you down a smidge or turn something down. Is there a second? I believe the majority of us believe that. But are we living like we believe that? I'm going to get to this a little bit this morning. Is there a second coming? If we're not careful, we can find ourselves caught up in what we ministered on earlier, where Peter begins to discuss how that we sit there and begin to question, well, where is the promise of his return? Where is the promise of his return? And I'm here to tell you this morning, as Peter declared, I'm declaring here this morning, God is not slack about his promises. Whether it's talking about the second return of Jesus Christ, whether it's talking about a promise he's given to you, whether to heal you, to bless you, or whatever, God is not slack concerning his promise. But here's what you understand, God will do it in the right and proper time. He won't be early, he won't be late. He will always be on time. And I have here said both the Old and the New Testament speak of how the world we know will end, and that God is working out his purposes until then. When Jesus comes again, believers will be judged and then enjoy eternity with God in heaven. Unbelievers will also be judged and then spend eternity in hell. We're going to deal with that in the message next week. We're going to be dealing with, is there a resurrection? Which I'll touch that again as we end the message again this morning. The glorious and uncontestable fact that Jesus is coming the second time is the believer's firm hope. Without that hope, what are we doing what we're doing? If we don't believe that Jesus come back, we don't believe that we have a life with him, why are we even doing what we're doing? Many times I've heard, have you ever heard people make this argument? There's people who sit there and say, well, I don't believe in the Bible and all this stuff, and they declare all this stuff. But as a believer, I've told them this, and I've heard of other believers who said this to people too. I'll sit there and look at them and say, you know what, here's the thing. If I'm wrong, I lose nothing. If there is no heaven, if there is no hell, if I'm wrong when I die, guess what? That's it. I lose absolutely nothing. I can die knowing I lived a good, moral, and holy life. You notice that there's moral in there. Because if there isn't a God or a heaven or hell, then what we're doing is just